See how that works. Now, for anybody who happens by here, basically I'm just conducting a test. I've been having a lot of connectivity issues the last stream. It's frustrating. And so I'm trying to see, after making a few adjustments, if I can get this to work properly. And that is Restream. And I seem to have the most trouble when I share a page. When I share a page is when it really chokes up. And so if anybody's out there and you want to comment, please do. Because I guess there's some people watching. I don't see any comments yet, though. I don't see any comments yet. Again, you know, this is an impromptu coffee talk live, if you will. And as many of you are aware, I've been having a lot of trouble just keeping the stream going properly. See if I can get that to even pop up, because everything seems like it's still running slowly. And I've tried switching to Chrome, which I don't like Chrome, but I've tried switching to Chrome to see if that helps. And I'm sharing to just the YouTube channels and not the X, aka Twitter, because I'm sharing on all three. It's just flat out short of just flat out trying to switch server. I don't know if I can cancel the Restream now. I don't know if I'm able to cancel the Restream. Well, let's see here. And I don't know if anybody is even seeing me, because the chat's not running. So I can't even see the chat right now. It says new comments will display here, and I'm not seeing the chat messages, ladies and gentlemen. If you are making any messages here, I have no idea. So I'm going to open it up on the phone. Yeah, and I can see the messages on the phone here. Boogers, Sean, Baki, Spectre, Gray Team. Wow. Zane is there. I can see it on the phone, you know, but for some reason comments are not popping up in the chat. Incredible. It's like I said, I'm trying some different things, trying some new things. This is incredible. This is more trouble than I normally have. This is more trouble than I normally have because now I'm not even getting the chats. Like I said, I can see it in like Happy Gardener is on here now, and um, I don't know why I can't even see chat on this because I should be able to see it on my screen. Nothing seems to be functioning properly. And this is in Google Chrome because it was recommended to try the Google Chrome to see if that helps, to see if it helps. And I'm sitting here literally having to look at the phone to see chat messages because now it's not even coming up. So Google Chrome is working worse than what I was previously using, which makes absolutely no freaking sense at all. Let me try switching this. Yeah, this is just frustrating. That is just frustrating. Absolutely. Because, I'm not like a network here. I'm not big time. I'm just trying to share with people, reach out to people, communicate, and I've got to deal with this. I've got to deal with this and not give the best experience. I joke about it all the time. Nobody's paying me to talk. Basically, nobody's paying me to talk, but I still want to give the best experience that I possibly can. For some reason, and I'm going to go into the browser on the other, or I'm going to go into the studio on the other browser here. I'm going to switch the browser. And but it can't access the camera. And probably because the first, I've already got a browser open, but on this browser I can't hear anything, see the chat. So this is the failure of that system. I'm going to try to bump it. All right, now I've jumped out of the Chrome and into the normal browser that I typically use. Now I can see all the chat. So the chat is working. We'll see if this looks better. I see all the people are in here. Try to see the names of the people that are in here. Boogers, Gray Team 2. See if I can get this to share up properly. Spectre, says might be too much data on your computer and on the YouTube account, might be due to cleanup. Yeah, and I did a complete cache clean before I did this. I cleared out the entire cache and history before I even started. And Happy Gardener says laggy but mostly clear. Yeah, now I can see the let me close my phone out, because now I can see the comments. Sean says choppy but good. Baki says we see you. Catching a few of these up here. We're trying to. And Happy Gardener says, bingo, the lag is gone. So the lag stopped when I switched to the second browser. Is that what happened? Is that, just relying on you guys here, because again, I'm not in a professional studio. I don't have professional equipment. Doing the best I can. I got a fairly decent camera. The lighting's not too bad. The microphone's not bad. Trying my best really to just give the best, do the best I can with the good people, as it were. I also did a speed test, and it said that for streaming purposes, my upload should be at least 30, and I tested at 42 on the upload speed. And as I mentioned several times in the last couple of weeks, I am on Ethernet also, so there's no Wi-Fi, no Bluetooth, nothing like that. And the Ethernet cable is a short one, because the box is right behind me. There's not that far to go. Armin says it's the setup is okay. Gray Team 2 says it's better now. I'll try sharing a page, and we'll see what that looks like, because that's been a big problem. That's been a big problem recently, is opening up a page to share, and it locks up on me. It skips, it gets laggy. Unknown wants to know, Unknown Knows wants to know how much is a night at the movies run these days. I don't know. I haven't been to the movies in a long time, and if I do go, I usually go to a Max. It's cheaper. I'll go early. I'll go early in the morning. So I'm waiting for this to cycle up, and I'll pop open an article, one of the articles from earlier today when we did the live stream, and I'll see if it does right or if it screws up. So give it a second to cycle open, and then I'll try to share the page, because that's usually where I end up in the most trouble, is going to share a page, and then for some reason Restream gets really shitty on me. I'm not sure what else I can do to try to improve that, short of just changing, and that's a handful, because if there's no refund option with the Restream, and it looks like it's going to jam up, because now it's slowing down again. There's no excuse for it. There's really no reason why this should be slowing down. I'm at 1080p. I clicked for sharing, and it says page isn't responding. And it should have shared by now. It should be working. And again, I was recommended to try running it on Chrome, and I ran it on Chrome, and Chrome was worse than this. The Chrome was worse, and I couldn't see the chat overlay at all. Yeah, still lagging, Captain says. I'm not sure what the hell is going on. And, switching services, that's like $500. Any of these services, the Restream, StreamYard, whatever, they cost about $500 for the year. If you're going to get the discount, if you pay month by month, it's more. If you pay monthly, so it makes more sense to get the yearly service. So the only other alternative I can think of is if I can get a refund from the Restream for basically shitty service, then let's see what this is. Then switched back to the StreamYard, because I don't think I was having this kind of trouble in the StreamYard. I don't think it was this much trouble. And it's frustrating. It's frustrating even during those lag periods. I can't even access the comments, because like right here, right now I can click the comment. There's Paul, better with 3G. Yeah, no kidding. I think I got kicked off the phone less often when it wasn't 5G. That's true. But sometimes, even though I can see the comments, they don't want to click, and I can't put them up, and that's a problem too. Because if I'm reading somebody's comment, I like to throw it up on here so that people can see what I'm reading. Because I know that depending upon what service you're using, sometimes you can't see comments from the other channel if I'm broadcasting to both Prepper University and Coffee Talk at the same time. You can't see them both. And Lady Pop says 5G was supposed to give you better service. That was a lie. The purpose of 5G was for drone traffic. And you can find articles on that. The real purpose behind 5G was that they wanted to use it for drone traffic. It wasn't so you could stream your basketball or whatever. Let's see here. Settings. Maybe if I reduce the video, or because I'm on I can't change the definition. It says quality selection disabled while live, because I'm on full high definition at 1080p. And I wonder if I reduce that, if I change it to the 740 or whatever the hell it is, 780. I forget what the next one down is. I wonder if I change it. I can't change it right now because it won't let you alter it while you're live. And I could try running on a lower quality just to see if it helps. And Sean says it's all still good. Yeah, it's all still good for the moment. But if I try to do something like, again, the Coffee Talk segments when I do the podcast in the afternoon, I like to present the article. When I'm reading the news articles, I want to put it up on the screen so that people can read along and they can see it, and they know, okay, he's not just sitting here making it up. He's actually reading the article. Here it is. And if I want to look at that article, that's what it is, and I can go find it. And I think that's important for you to be able to see it yourself. And yet there's Megan caught too. This is just a test to see if I can work some of the bugs out here. And it usually happens when I try to share a screen. So here's an attempt. And now I'm laughing. But I've got work. warning again about connectivity. It says connectivity issue. And that's a restream warning. It's a little yellow box that appears at the top of the screen. I can see it, but I don't think you can. It says connectivity warning. Rodney says, is Caden Live suitable for live streaming or presentations? I'm not familiar with that one. And then Rodney says, yeah, now it's getting choppy. Yeah, I shared, it got weird. We're back now, but there are times where I go to share and it locks up, and it's locked up for like 20 seconds or so, where you get that orange background, which is the restream background, and then you can't even hear me. And that's unfair to the people that go through the trouble to join the chat and be part of the podcast. It's not fair to you, and that's why I'm trying to get it worked out. Baki says, opinion on the controversy over two big-time bunker companies, both saying the other is no good. Yeah, that's I haven't heard that, but I'm familiar with the tactic. It's the same as like Coke and Pepsi in the 80s. If any of you are old enough to remember the little feud that they had going, and they both were always talking about how the other isn't good, but theirs is better. But they're both bad, just in a different way. That's they're going to feud. I see a lot of that in martial arts as well. If you're in a martial arts clinic anywhere and all they talk about is how some other clinic sucks and that they're copying or whatever, or they're jealous, you don't need to be part of that organization. Did I have a lag there? I switched to the other screen to move this to see if to see the reaction time. To see the reaction time. And I wonder if it would work better if I completely moved the page over. Maybe I should open it in a different screen instead of having it on the same bar. And the only other alternative I can think of is the only other thing I can think of is, like I said, I'm on 1080p right now, which is the highest possible resolution. If I come in at a lower resolution next time, because I cannot change it, then and I'll close this now. I'll shut that off, and you'll get the orange screen for a second, and there we are. And Baki says I'm a martial artist also. Yeah, I was too once upon a time. I was a martial artist in two different schools in Massachusetts a million years ago. And Dragon says no lag that they were aware of. And Robert made a donation to the channels, and he says all I can afford now for kitties, food prices for my pets are expensive now. Well, I appreciate that, Robert. Thank you. I don't have well, I do have felines in here. Daniel is sitting behind me. Here's Daniel in the corner. I think I'm reverse, aren't I? Am I backwards? I think I'm in reverse here. But yeah, there's Daniel. Let me know if I'm backwards. Tell me if you can read that. I think I'm backwards, so I'll have to fix that also. And Granny Smith is in here, and Dusty is sitting in the doorway. Granny Smith is sitting over on the chair. Or no, she's not on the chair. She's over there, sitting on that box. But she's knocked out. But thank you very much, Robert. Very much appreciated. And Lady Pop says, I am not backwards. And Zane said cats are important to preps. Well, they're good at keeping rodents and snakes away from the yard, I'll tell you that. Unknown says Atlas actually documents failed bunkers. I can't say I'd buy an Atlas job, but I definitely wouldn't buy the other guy's stuff. Okay. Because I wasn't familiar with that, with any feud between bunker companies. How you doing, Daniel? Daniel? You ignoring me? Daniel's ignoring me. Robert made a donation to your food fund, Daniel. Show some appreciation. And Zane says that cats are a morale boost. They can be. They can be. I'm going to try to share another. I'm going to open a new window this time, and I'm going to see if that helps, so that I don't have to transition across the border. Maybe that'll change something. All I can do is make the attempt as I try to do this, guys. And let me know if I have a lag. If I have a lag, and I'll try to share here because it's acting funny again. The little acting funny as I try to click on the comments. I was trying to get just now. Here it comes. Baki says little lions. They think they are. Some of them are pretty tough. You'd be surprised. And Sean made a donation to the channel. He says, hippo character with stars growing in his eyes, pumping his arms in the air with the word hype pulsating above him. Okay. Well, thank you, Sean, very much for helping the channel out. It's very much appreciated. And again, goes a long way towards helping all our furry friends here that we take care of in our impromptu shelter, unofficial shelter, but we do work with Halo House. I've mentioned that before. Halo House helps us out a lot. And Sean says for the kitten. Well, I don't have anybody I can reach at the moment. I'd pick one up. Dusty was just here. Dusty, you still in the door? I don't think she's listening to me. I'm going to try to share the page I just opened and see if that works properly. I didn't go black yet, so that's a good sign. How did that look? I can see it now. New York Post soft on crime DA Alvin. Was there a skip there? Let me know. I'll put that comment up for you guys to see. Zane says out. Oh, that's a continuation of his comment. I'll leave that up there for a moment in case anybody wants to take a look at that real quick. Let me know how that transition went. And Dragon says no skip that time. No skip. Okay. And I'll try it again with another page. I'm separating it instead of keeping it on the same bar. Because you know what I basically do is if I find some articles of interest, and Helter says the article was blurry. Is it still blurry, or can you see it clearly right now? Can you see this clearly? You know, reaching out to my friends across the internet here and trying to fine tune this a little bit so I can give a better presentation when I do those podcasts, because it's important. You know, it's important to try to provide the best service I can in everything that I do. You know what I mean? Baki says we see the news part clearly. All right. And Tokay says they can see clearly now. Why? Because the rain is gone. Sometimes you can see better when it's raining. Helter says I meant to say the article was blurry for a few seconds before it became clear. All right. All right. And Robert wants to know if I saw the recent WHO Constitution. It's scary what they're pushing now. I don't know if I did. I might have because I see a lot of weird stuff. But essentially what I do, I'll close that and let me know how that transition went. Did I skip out? And if it did go to an orange screen, were you still able to hear me speaking without skipping? If you can at least hear me during the transition, that's not so bad. That's not so bad, especially since this is picked up by Fistful of Radio. You know, there it is, fistfulofradio.com, because, you know, they take the daily, hourly podcasts and they play it on their service. And so I don't want to give them crappy service either. Baki says it did not skip out, but when it switched to you, it was blurry and then got sharper. And Megan heard me. Thank you. Working on it, guys. I'll try a couple more. And usually what I do is in the, early in the morning, I'm up very early. My wife and I both get up very early. We get up at about between 5:30 in the morning. And, I dig through real quick. And I look at articles of interest. And if something catches my eye, because most of the time I don't even read them. I read them fresh when I present them to the people I'm having the conversation with. It's not all polished and rehearsed. It's a natural reaction. You know what I mean? Just if that makes any sense. It's a natural reaction when I read these articles, just to be as realistic as possible, because I'm not faking it. So I find articles of interest and I put all these links in an email. I send it to myself. And then I open the email up and I just click the links and then I do the article. It's like, okay, let's start here. Let's do this. So let me try another one. Open a new window. And now, like I said, what I'm doing here, did I skip in that transition just now? Because I just opened the link. From my perspective, I had a blank screen for like a second. So I want to see if you saw that. And Dragon says, yes, I lagged. So when I opened up the window, I had a lag. And Paul says, I can tell it's natural. Nice. And that Dragon alliterates that it was the visual and not the audio. So there was a visual lag just for a second. So I've got another article opened up. And again, these are all articles we already talked about. We had these discussions earlier today at the regular 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'm gonna share screen. I'm gonna share screen and we'll see if there's a lag. And no black screen on my side, but a little laggy. And as I pointed out earlier, for your comment to pop up, and your comment has not yet popped up. I did click it. So let me know, guys, the issue. Now I'm going to scroll, and I'm scrolling, so I think there's an issue. There it goes. Now it's moving. And if there was a visual lag, was there an audio lag also? Could you still hear me? Because if there's a delay, and I can go ahead and read, at least you can still hear me until the image comes up. And Dama says lagged and then sound and video got out of sync. All right, we should be linked back up. It should have caught up now, I imagine, right? I don't know how these companies stay in business for as much as you pay for these services. There is a more expensive tier, but I just can't do that. I just can't do that. And Dragon says after the orange screen popped up, the article was blurry for a few seconds. And Dama says it's good now and it's correct. Okay. And now I can scroll this. I think sometimes if it's video, it messes it up. At least it's not bouncing. Because sometimes these articles, they bounce up and down. And I think it's because of the ads. Now, see, now it's bouncing up and down. Now it's bouncing up and down. Appreciate everybody providing some input here as I try to work my way through it. Again, one other thing that I could try, which I can take a crack at it tomorrow, is turning down the pixels and lowering it from 1080. But I don't know how good of a how good of a visual that's going to be. You know, if I lower it to 1080, am I going to look all fuzzy through the presentation? And Unknown No says newspaper clippings never bounced. Only when you were riding the subway or the bus. That's when they bounced. If you ever tried to do that on the train, I used to have to ride the trolleys a lot, especially when I worked for Caradonna. In the late 80s, I worked for a refrigerated warehouse that provided provisions to restaurants. So they sold bulk packaged frozen and refrigerated meats and cheeses to restaurants. Heavy, a lot of heavy lifting. A lot of heavy lifting. So I need I would get up really early in the morning. I'd catch the very first train coming out of Boston College on the Green Line in the morning and ride it to downtown, and then I would switch to the Red Line in Park Street Station, and I'd ride the Red Line out to South Boston, and then walk past the Amtrak exchange to freeze my ass off for 10 hours a day in a refrigerated warehouse. Hell of a way to spend your teen years. And Baki says, we've confirmed two things. We need a top-notch streaming company and a top-notch bunker company. And Chris says, how will lowering Ferris help? Maybe if it's a less of a strain on the service, the transitions will be easier and it won't lock up or skip. Because I'm going to stop the screen now and we'll see what happens. I got an orange screen for a second, and hopefully the audio was not interrupted. And Unknown No says buses, no subways here. Yeah, well, Boston they had trains, trolleys, and buses. There's a lot going on there. But yeah, I'm just speculating, and I'm also not broadcasting to X right now because usually I have been broadcasting to X as well as the two YouTube channels. So I thought if I took X off and I'm just broadcasting to the two YouTube channels, maybe that would help them. That would help Restream not choke up so much. Now let me try another one. Let me see. Oh, I never got to show that one yesterday. And I just got my notification. I am live. And how far are we? 38 minutes and 28 seconds in. 38 minutes and 28 seconds in. ScrewTube has just let me know that I'm live. Thank you, ScrewTube, for... It's a good thing it's not an emergency. Public service announcement. Doomsday. And 38 minutes and 28 seconds later, people get their notifications, and it's too late. It's too late. They're under 8 feet of rubble. It's all over. It's all over. And I could have saved the world. Thanks for nothing, YouTube, aka Google, aka Alphabet Incorporated, aka 26. Is it Holdings? 26 Holdings, aka Rock Black. We'll just say it like that. Yeah, I'm really going to get in trouble now. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done all that. What did you let me do that for? I'm going to go ahead and let me try separating this one. See if that helps. So I'm going to go ahead and open another one. This is one we read today about. I read that one already. Let's try this one. I'll go back to the first one. Open a new window and let me know if a visual or audio lag. I have not. I do have the window open. Now, I am experiencing a lag in being able to control the comments. And New York Patriots there, he says Alphabet needs to be broken up. Just my opinion. No kidding. But that if you follow the chain of command, that's the direction it goes in. If you start with YouTube and you work your way up the ladder, that's what you'll find. And it's XXVI Holdings, 26 in Roman numerals, not the number 26. And Unknown Knows says they're amendable to text reminders. I get them from Refuge Medical. Okay. So I'm going to try to share a screen here. I'll talk the entire time to make sure that at least if there's a video lag, that there is not and it's moving properly. Warning from Restream, yellow bar. And New York Patriots said working overtime, didn't expect the late broadcast. Yeah. And again, this is just a test, Patriot. It's a test to try to fine tune this a little bit because for the last couple of weeks, I've been having a lot of issues with Restream, lagging, choking up while I'm trying to transition through audio, through articles, to the point where people are seeing lags where they're getting no video or audio for up to 20 seconds. The last couple of days, especially. And I'm like, that's just unacceptable. It's unacceptable. And Dragon says, bit of a video and audio lag prior to the opening of the orange screen. Okay. And there's your friend. There's your guest speaker. Oh, Dulce. And again, Dulce, I believe it means sugar. Correct? She don't look sweet to me. Hell to the no. She don't look sweet to me. She looks like a handful. A handful. That's what you call that kind of woman. She's a full and a half. That's the kind of woman that will nerve in your tooth. You'd want it pulled. And it's bouncing up and down. Hold still. There we go. She's got camouflage on so that you can't find her. I can see that up and down. And Unknown Knows says she's had a lot of sugar, probably grazes in cane fields. Actually, she probably grazes in donut fields. If you ever saw that that one where Homer Simpson goes to hell and they try to torture him by forcing him to eat lots of donuts, and it isn't working, the guy's like, I don't understand. They usually go crazy by now. There she is. Oh, what a beast. I know I shouldn't make fun of people's appearances. It's not fair. But sometimes you can just tell a lot with, you know what I mean? I'm going to close that window and see if there is a lag time. I shut it down. I went black, orange, and I'm back. So if it, that's okay if the screen goes off for a second, as long as the audio is not interrupted. And New York Patriot says she looks like Mike and Ike's. Yeah, Mike and Ike's. I remember those. Brian wants to know what season was the Simpson episode. I don't remember. Hell, how long has it been on? Too long. It's been on too long. I don't know what season it was from. I haven't watched The Simpsons in probably at least 15 years. But and the modern stuff probably isn't that good since Disney took over. My personal opinion. I'm just speculating. But I mean, when you're forcing voice actors to apologize for the voices that they do and then firing them anyways, I don't want to watch your incarnation of that show. I don't want to watch it. And of course, I'm talking about the guy who did the voice of the convenience store owner. I can't think of his name. That's the one I'm thinking of. They made him, and he did that voice forever. Made him crawl, and then he's gone anyways. Can't do it anymore. It's not right. It's not right. Now let me see. I'll try another one. I'm pretty sure I've opened all of these. Opening a new window. We'll see if there's transitional lag, and then I will attempt to share. I didn't see a lag this time. I didn't see a video lag this time. Share screen, and then we'll see if there's a lag. There's a And Brian says the first 10 seasons are the best. It was tolerable at least until the 2007 film. The film was all right. The film was all right. But it might have been going too far. The Simpsons in the beginning were a cultural phenomenon, and I think they wrote it out too far. South Park, the film killed it for me. After the film, they just kept getting nastier and nastier. And more adolescent and more just grotesque humor. And I got sick and tired of it. I couldn't watch it anymore. That's South Park. But they started getting that way from the film on. Before that, it was a lot more tolerable. And Helter says there was a video lag there. Okay, video lag. Now I'm going to go to sharing again, and I'll wrap up here in a little bit. And I appreciate everybody's help. New York Patriot says the least they could have done with The Simpsons was make the characters age a bit. Well, then they can't give you the big surprise blockbuster ending that they're intending if you've never figured out the big secret of The Simpsons. There's a huge secret of The Simpsons. Shall I tell you what it is? I think it's in season 6. I think it was in season 6. And I'll tell you what it is here in a moment if you're that curious. Brian says Apu, Just Mo was the name of the character. Oh, Just Mo. Yeah, Nasa, oh, Just Mo. There's a reason why they don't age. I'm going to try to share page. Here it comes. And we'll see what happens. Hopefully we can get in transition as long as the audio does not get a possible disconnection warning again. Yellow bar on my screen. On my screen. Did anybody, I'm sure you saw the orange screen pop up. Did you hear any audio lag? Or did I come through clean? Robert wants to know if I heard about a woman who wrote a book that she dressed up and acted like a man and committed suicide and said in her book how she hated women. I never heard that. Brian says that was a line from Chief Wiggum. And Dragon says again with the audio lag before the orange screen pop-up. So the audio hiccuped or it was just out of sync. And then New York Patriot said it lagged for a few seconds with no audio. Oh, that's worse. So that's what I'm trying to get away from. But otherwise, it looks like this is transitioning all right here. And I'm not sure what else I can do with this, short of trying to see if I can get to StreamYard. I'm going to close it now. StreamYard, and I can't afford to just go on and buy a whole new service. They're $500 a pop for these services. And Dragon says audio hiccuped. And then Robert says it's coming out where this Me Too movement did a lot of damage and women are being held accountable, and the Simpsons were right. Okay, well, the trick is, and I believe this is season 6. Do you remember in, was it season 6? I could be wrong. The episode where Homer meets God. Who remembers that episode? The episode where Homer meets God. I don't remember what season that was. Let me look it up. Let me see if I can look that up real quick, just to be sure I know what I'm talking about. C16? In an earlier season where Homer meets God. Trying to remember. Because that's way back. That's in season 4. Does Homer meets God in season 3? I'm trying to get this in the right order. Season 4, episode 3, Robert says, Homer meets God. Okay, season 4, episode 3. All right, that makes more sense. That's it. Season 4, episode 3. And he has the DVDs. Thank you, Robert. Okay, now I can explain this better. Season 4, episode 3, Homer meets God. And if I remember correctly, Homer says to God says, when you die, you'll understand everything. And then Homer says, I can't wait. I can't wait till I die then. And then God says, what? You can't wait 6 months? Sound familiar? Now you jump to season 4, episode 18, 6 months later, in real time, is the April Fool's prank when Bart puts the beer in the paint shaker at the mall or at the paint shop or wherever he was, and he has the trembling beer that he puts in the refrigerator, and then when Homer opens it, he sees a flash of white, and then the whole house blows up, right? And in that episode, we leave off with Homer in a coma, which apparently he never wakes up from. So that means everything after the coma episode is Homer's dream. He's in a coma. Watch that be how they end the series, with him waking up in bed. And that's why no one ever ages on the show. Yeah, look that up. I believe it's 6 months later, season 4, episode 18, I think, with the beer exploding and putting him in a coma. So he's asleep the entire time. And, if they do that at the very last episode, it'd be a huge okie doke to fans of The Simpsons, who all these years have been watching the show religiously. Robert says, watch the series Sliders. I remember that show. It's interesting because a lot of the Earths they slide into in season 1 and 2 is happening today. Correct. There's warnings in that show. It's just like the Twilight Zone. New York Patriot said that's lame and sad. It's always lame when they do that kind of stuff. Like the Newhart show. Last episode of the Newhart show, he wakes up in bed and the whole Newhart, as the other Newhart show, Bob Newhart, the psychiatrist, with his original wife from that show from the 70s, and had dreamt the whole Newhart show him as the bed and breakfast owner. Dreamt the whole thing. Hollywood is not above that kind of a thing. It's been done many times. Or the big okey doke in Dallas, I forget what season, where they had killed Bobby, and then a year later they bring Bobby back and he's in the shower, and Pam had dreamt the whole season. It never happened. Oh, yeah. And Robert says Twilight Zone examination day. But anyway, there's your Simpsons trivia for the day. I'm almost an hour up on this. Miss Kitty. Miss Kitty's in the doorway. I wouldn't pick her up, though, because she gets scared a lot. Miss Kitty. Miss Kitty in the doorway. Where is it? Laying on the floor. Got 3 cats in the room. If I sit here long enough, they'll pile up on me. But I appreciate everybody's assistance in trying to get some of this sorted out. Hopefully, I can get some of the bugs out of it. Special thanks to Sean and Robert, who made a donation here tonight. Much appreciated. Unknown wants to know if Homer will wake up skinny. He should. Skinny and unable to walk is how he should wake up from a coma. But I'm going to go ahead and sign off, and I'll be broadcasting again tomorrow at the regular time, and hopefully without as many hiccups as I'm going to keep trying to work on this and figure it out. And like I said, anything short of at this point trying to cancel and get some money back from Restream, and then buying StreamYard again, and hopefully having it work better. Robert says, do you have issues buying canned cat food here? Here, the Canadians come down and buy everything up at Walmart. Canned cat food is often in short supply in the markets ever since the C virus shutdowns. But I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Thanks, everybody, for your assistance. And again, hopefully I can get some more of these bugs worked out. It worked a little better here than it did this afternoon. This afternoon was just bad, and I was frustrated with that. It's like, damn it, again, I'm trying to do everything. I'm trying to do the best I can here, and it just didn't want to work. But thanks again, everybody, and I will catch